Apple to launch a redesigned HomePod with a 7-inch display in 2024. Of course, another report. Of course, Ming Chi's involved. This is looking like some of the devices other companies are doing in the kitchen or the bedside. Like, I don't even know where you're supposed to put these things. I'm not doing any of the FaceTiming. I'm kind of against it. I don't know what it is, Will. I just can't.
Video calls?
They're like, hey, man, can you video in on that? I'm like, all right, sure. Camera turned off.
Uh-huh.
They're like, hey, man, do you mind throwing the camera on? I'm like, no. You can't. No. Don't need it.
Not even to, like, relatives? Or
Don't need it.
Okay.
You can't see me. I don't know. I don't like the phone. I don't like, you know this, Will.
But not even with family?
Family, I'd be like, well, which family are you talking about? How far away are they?
Like distant.
Yeah, they're far. Aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Well, I won't say I've never done it, but for me,
They're like, everyone's like gathered around. Hi. You just like shut off your camera.
that's right. That's right. For me, it's like, okay, this might sound a little bit harsh. And maybe I need more sensitivity training here. But sometimes it actually enhances the distance for me. It enhances it doesn't do the thing for me emotionally that I think it's supposed to do. I feel the same way sometimes about pictures and memories. And I'm like Tom Cruise in Minority Report. I'm just crying. I'm just sitting there. Like, it's not having the effect on me. Psychologically, that I think it must be for some people that are like, well, this is better than nothing. For me, it's a reminder that I'm just not going to see these people. It's just a reminder that there's incredible distance there.
But would it be better than a phone call?
No, I even phone calls I don't really like. I'm like, you want to meet up later? Like, instantly. I'm like, are you going to the thing? Okay, cool. I'll see you. Like, I don't really want to go, hey there. How are you doing? And then we're just on the phone for 3 hours, and we could have drove over there.
Okay, what if they're far away?
But that's my point. When they're far away, I'm like, listen, it's too bad that we're far apart.
It's too bad.
But if we're on the phone here, for me, again, could you have a laugh or this and that? But what is the lasting effect on me emotionally is, oh damn! Remember when I used to actually see that person? That's the effect. That's the residual that I personally have.
But don't you want to like know what they're up to? And
But it's all it's all so meaningless in this scenario where it's happening in isolation in these small little packages, and there's no human connection or a limited human connection from a resolution perspective. Like, I just really like real life. I don't know what else to tell you. I really like real life, and wherever you can cross paths and interact with people, even if sometimes it's strictly circumstantial, I think it's superior to low resolution contact with people who you perceive as having some previous past life strong connection to. It's like, listen, there's some reason why resolution matters is what I'm trying to get at. To me, resolution matters tremendously.
yeah,
And
I agree.
Communication is incredibly complicated, and I need all the data I can get when I want to really communicate, or as much data as possible when I really communicate. So you got to set aside some time. Sometimes it doesn't even work within your plans because you got to stay up too late because the opportunity presents itself. They're like, this conversation, this point of contact, this intimacy level of the depth of this conversation requires an investment right now. So I'm going to actually compromise other aspects of my life to embed myself in it. And I'm talking real life, Will.
I hear you.
Other people that put it on a schedule, it's our yearly call. How you been? Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't agree with all of it, but I do think that it's nice to hear like someone's voice if I miss them or something, or vice versa. and to see what they're up to.
And you're like most people. You're like most people. Most people
Yeah.
don't have any kind of problem with that. So I realize I'm the outlier there. People love to catch up on the phone.
Sure, yeah.
My brother will sit on the phone for way longer than it would take for him to drive over and for us to hang out. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because we could easily just hang out.
Yeah.
And some people say, well, what about the carbon footprint? You know, you drive over there.
And I think that convenience in this case really matters, you know, because you can even devolve into texting.
You want to know something? I feel like let me go one step deeper here, because I used to travel a lot when my kids were really young.
Yeah.
And it used to be difficult. And I would, at the time, video call with them. And this is when I came to the realization that that it's pain. It's just pain. It's just like, okay, good night. Okay, story time. And then you're just in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And it's
just darkness.
Freaking weird, man. It's really weird. It's like you almost just want to get your job done and get home as quickly as possible and not even be reminded of the fact. And maybe it's selfish, because maybe it's helpful to the kids to actually see you, but I don't know how they feel emotionally. They might feel the same way. I can imagine for people who have to travel really frequently, and I don't know how well kids can articulate themselves, but that reminder might be hard for them too. It might be hard for them to put that down, and then they go, well, when's he going to be home? Well, that was it. He's on the phone. I'm holding him in my hand, but he can't be here. Okay. Like, I can imagine psychologically that's a difficult thing to rectify for a youngster, like depending on the age. But if 2-3 years old, okay, he's in the phone now. For how long? For a week? For a month?
Yeah.
Much in the same way that they're finding certain disadvantages to having too much technology exposure in general for extremely young people who are interacting maybe even not in a minor way with screens as their default mechanism for accessing reality. I just listen, man. I'm saying in a pinch, do what you got to do. But as far as a habit's concerned, I prefer to program my life around it as much as possible to try to prioritize real life interaction wherever possible. But anyway, Apple doesn't give a shit about that, right? Because Apple wants to sell you a product. And unfortunately, there's no product to be sold when you just meet with a person and see them in real life. But there's plenty of products to be sold if you want to do it at distance. Then they're going to help you out big time. Then they're all over you because they'll be cashing that check. In a brief post on Medium, Quo wrote that the next generation of HomePod's display could facilitate deeper integration with Apple's other hardware products. Tianma apparently will be the beneficiary of Apple's revamped smart home strategy, becoming the sole supplier of redesigned HomePod display. So it kind of looks, it looks like a HomePod, except its shape has changed to allow for this landscape display. In this case, the woman is talking to a cat.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like the cheeky, fun screenshot of it, but I can see people buying this, you know, instead of their phone, like using their phone. But and it doubles as an assistant. So, you know.
You're talking about the speaker here?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to sell a boatload. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people are not really picking these up. And it's anecdotal. I mean, maybe they move a few products. And by the way, I'm not talking about this one because it doesn't exist yet. Maybe Apple needs to do it for people to pay attention. But there's a lot of these smart, no, not even just HomePod, but like smart speakers, smart displays. You heard the report from Amazon about the Echo products taking a nosedive, and Google forever has been like, you're going to put a screen over here. And some reason people are reluctant to do so. The only screen, the main screen they want to have is just in their pocket. And they don't necessarily want all these other peripherals. So I'll be surprised to see if it's like a huge hit. Maybe
and you're right. It's like, where does it go? Like, is it by your bedside table or like a desk or your kitchen? Like, where does it go?
I don't know why I think kitchen, because often when Google is showing off their smart display assistant combo device, which I'm forgetting, Home Hub or whatever the hell they call it, smart whatever, they often show it off in a kitchen, and it's like getting some pancake mix on it or something.
Yeah. And it doesn't rotate, right? I think it's just kind of like stationary. So like if you can move around like behind it or something, it won't detect it. It's a weird device.